Well, it's Friday evening. Everybody's in a good mood. Well, not people who have to work on Saturday, I suppose. And what better way to celebrate than a nice beer? But we're going to do alcohol-free this time. We're going to go, well, with another Lucky Saint. I saw this in Tesco. I've never seen an orange can of Lucky Saint before. I think this is a new one. It's the Hazy IPA. I've had the lager before. I'll have to review it on the channel at one point. I thought the lager was pretty decent, to be honest, for an alcohol-free lager. This is the, as I say, a Hazy IPA, 0.5% ABV, which basically counts as alcohol-free. And we're going to give it a test. We're going to see what it's like. We're going to see if it's any good, if it compares to one with alcohol in it. But I thought, as a change, Friday night, let's do an alcohol-free beer review. So, let's have a look then. What does it tell us then? So it says there's 59 calories per can, so they tend to like to put them on the side of alcohol-free beers. And unless I'm reading this wrong, like alcohol-free beers tend to have quite a bit of sugar in them, I've always found. But this reckons that every 100 ml only has 0.1 grams of sugar. So not only is this sort of low alcohol, it's also low sugar as well, which is good. But does it have any taste is the question. So let's have a little think about this. So let's crack it open first of all. Let's see. So I've had many alcohol-free beers before, but I've not had any really kind of posh ones from bottle shops and stuff. I tend to get them from the supermarkets. I don't know whether some of the better ones are better than the ones I've had, but I've not been overly impressed with the alcohol-free beer offerings. Some of them, you know, are a bit of an imitation of the real thing. They're a bit of a substitute, should we say, rather than imitation. They're all right for a midweek drink. Is this one going to be any different? So, Lucky Saint, Hazy IPA, let's get it in the glass. Now, when I have been to bottle shops and things, they tended to have all the similar kind of alcohol-free offerings that you can kind of get anywhere else, really. I've not seen many, you know, specific ones. I've seen like possibly come from Arbor or Brew by Numbers, but not a huge amount of selection in the bottle shops that I've looked at of alcohol-free beers. I wouldn't mind trying some, you know, really, I wouldn't say posh, but I'd say, you know, more upmarket alcohol-free beers, sort of more crafty ones from smaller breweries where they're not stocking the supermarkets and not brewing them en masse, just to see if there's any different. Change my mind at all about alcohol-free beer. But looking at this one, beer in the glass. So it's a hazy, yellowy colour with a little bit of orange in it. It's got a little bit of it's got a small head on it. Yeah, it looks like a hazy pale. Let's just face it. So let's give it a nose. So this is where we'll find out whether it's any good. So on the nose there, it's got not giving a huge amount of weight, but I am getting a slightly soapy dankness to it. I'm getting a bit of grapefruit. A little bit of grape. It smells quite nice, actually. Smells proper. There's no off smells there. I know some of these alcohol-free pales I tend to have a kind of a weird kind of off fruit, kind of overripe fruit kind of smell, taste to them, which is not nice, not in a good way. This one doesn't seem to have any of those. It's got a lovely dankness in the smell, and it just smells like a beer. It smells like a hazy pale. Let's see what it tastes like. Cheers. I'm going to go in again. Wow. That is nice. That is interesting, I gotta say. I might need to get out more, but I can already say that this is hands down the best hazy pale, alcohol-free hazy pale I've ever drank. I've had things like the Laser Crush by Beavertown. There was a Brulo one. I've had a few from the Brulo range, and them I was quite impressed with them. I thought they were quite nice. The Holy Faith, reviewed on the channel, said I thought that was good. Said it had the nice flavours in it and stuff. But I think this, to me, tastes on a different level. This tastes like it tastes like a hazy pale. It tastes like a hazy pale with alcohol in it that you'd get somewhere. A session pale. It doesn't taste like a double IPA, don't get me wrong, but you wouldn't expect an alcohol-free beer to have that kind of thickness that you get in a double IPA or whatever. I think session pale is probably the best you would expect from an alcohol-free pale. But if someone bought me a pint of the local session IPA at a craft bar and I had this and I drank this, I would not know it was alcohol free. I really wouldn't, and that I would say is a big compliment for it. Talking about the actual tastes available, so we're getting nice bitterness but not too much. It's really well balanced. Sometimes these beers, they tend to be a bit too fruity, or they tend to be a bit too sweet. They tend to be a bit too bitter sometimes. I think this one is perfectly balanced, which is why I think it passes itself off well as a hazy pale, as just a a normal hazy pale. If this is things to come, if this is how things are getting better in the world of alcohol-free beer, then wow, I'll be drinking more of these. It's got that lovely dankness in the background. You can taste the dankness. You have to search for it a bit, but that's not a bad thing. But on the face of it, it's just a pleasant session pale. It's a pleasant session pale with a nice flavour, which in the summer, in the garden, a nice cold beer, nice hot sun, this would go to an absolute treat. And the fact you could have, well, really as many as you want to, with it being virtually no alcohol and virtually no sugar, I'd say it's a winner. Absolute winner. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this, and that's the first time I've ever said that about an alcohol-free beer. I've had ones that have been okay. I've had ones that I've kind of enjoyed. I mean, the Holy Faith, I kind of enjoyed that. I've not had any of the Brullo ones for a while. I have to get a couple more of them. Maybe review a Brullo one on the channel again, because I remember being impressed with that. There's also the Guinness Zero. Of course, I've drank the Guinness Zero. I'll have to review the Guinness Zero on the channel. I mean, that is something else, but it's a stout. It's just how you do an alcohol-free stout perfectly, basically. I think everyone will agree. Well, pretty much everyone will agree that Guinness Zero is a thing of beauty. It's just amazing how they managed to do it. Pales tend to be a bit trickier. Many places have missed the mark on an alcohol-free pale. Again, I need to get some. I wouldn't say slightly upmarket ones, but ones that aren't as widely available. Some that cost a bit more, higher price points. See if they are better than this. See if they speak to me. What can I say? Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. I was going to say it's not knocking my socks off, but in a way it kind of is really. It's just a really pleasant hazy pale ale. It's got a little bit of fruitiness. It's got a little bit of bitterness, tingling the tongue. It's got the dankness in the background there, and it's really smoothly drinking. It's not, it's not overly carbonated. It's got a little bit of carbonation there, keeping it interesting. Yeah, it's fruity. It's dank. A few savoury notes in there. It's quite complex. It's like a really nice session pale, and it's alcohol free. What can I say? Let's give it a rating. So I'm enjoying this. Again, I'm not going to take into account the fact that it's alcohol free to up the rating at all on these. As I think, I'm liking the aftertaste. Well, as I'm thinking there is better to come in this, I'm going to give this one for quality. I'm going to give it a B. I'm going to give this one a B for quality because, because I was tempted to go B minus. I'm going to go B, but I am expecting better. I'm expecting there to be better alcohol-free beers than this around. This is really cheered me up because I was starting to think that alcohol-free beers they're all right. They're an all right substitute for one with alcohol in it, but they'll never really be as good. This one is better than a lot of beers. Beers with alcohol in them. So that's and you can't tell I would say you cannot tell it's alcohol free there. There's nothing about the taste of this that is making me think it's an alcohol-free beer. I'll say the taste is a little bit light, but then on a session pale, the taste is quite light anyway. So again, as a substitute for a session pale, this is amazing, and I'm really impressed. Value, these were they were 4-pack for, well, they're on club card price, but normally they're 4-pack for £6. So £1.50 a can. I'd say a beer like this, £1.50. I mean, you can't go wrong with £1.50 a can. So I'd say for value, I'd give this one a B+. Anyway, I'm going to finish the rest of this off. Take the thumbnail. Enjoy the rest of my evening. Until next time, have a good one.